Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate all your support. Shout out to the 19. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We are going to talk ratings. We are going to talk a little WNBA corruption. Maybe I say that with a question mark. I don't know. But there are some curious things going on. This right here, NBA TV, Sun Fever. You know that game. You might have heard of it. It just happened Tuesday. We have the numbers 620,000. I believe it was actually 624,000 viewers. And what is that? What is that this year, you ask? I'm glad you did because that is a season high on NBA TV. 624,000, the most watched game of the season on the network. Shockingly, the previous high was 581,000 for the Fever, as hard as that can be to believe, against the Dream last month. What is wild, folks? Remember Sky Liberty? Do you remember y'all watching because of Me Too? Do you remember all that? Do you remember that speech? Well, Sky, the Chicago Sky, and Angel Me Too Reese played the defending champion Liberty on not NBA TV, not Ion, not Amazon Prime, ESPN, the supposed worldwide leader in sports, the night before. 606,000. Now it says here, yeah, it did have a higher rating, 0.38, but it's 606,000, outdrawn by Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever on NBA TV. Folks, that is embarrassing. Now, here's the thing. I was waiting to do this video because I wanted to get the Chicago Sky Connecticut Sun number that was on CBS on Sunday. Yes, Sunday. Yes, it is now Thursday. Yes, we already have Tuesday's game. We do not have the Sunday game, the Chicago Sky and the Connecticut Sun. We do not have that game yet. Interesting, don't you think? Now, also, quick shout out to Ben because Ben Daniel podcast because he reminded me of this. I had completely forgot. June 7th, Las Vegas Aces, Golden State Valkyries game. That was on ABC, folks. We don't have that game. We do not have that game all the way back on the 7th on ABC. It's amazing how quickly we can get ratings for so many other things, how important they are, obviously, to advertisers and such. But the WNBA seems to pick and choose which games it's going to let you know about in terms of the actual ratings for those games. As you may recall, Paige Beckers, you may have heard of her. They really trying to market her hard. 639,000 for her debut game, which was on Ion, which is a bigger platform than NBA TV. As we know, Caitlin Clark's actually done multiple million viewer games on Ion. By the way, if you, in case you were wondering, this is why when we look at Caitlin Clark's ratings like last year, 1.18 million average, which is phenomenal in a league that hadn't seen a single million viewer game since 2008. And that year it had one, and that was Candace Parker's debut as a rookie. But this is why that number skews lower, right? Because every game she's had on a major platform, CBS, ABC, ESPN, what have you. She's done, I believe, every single one has done over 2 million. The game back after injury, which was CBS, 2.2 million viewers. I peaked around 2.8 million. I would love to know. I would love to be able to compare that game to what Angel Me Too Reese and the Chicago Sky did against the Connecticut Sun. But it doesn't seem like they're going to give that. This is not good for the CBA. Okay, that's what I think a lot of players aren't understanding. This is not good for the CBA. You're going to have it be so dominated by Caitlin Clark. We saw that the ratings dropped like 55% when she was out with an injury. And now the WNBA is selectively hiding games. And look, hey, if it finally comes out and it's like, the Chicago Sky, Connecticut Sun does, 1.8 million or whatever, I will be the first to say, hey, that was awesome. I would still like to know why it was so late, but I will shout out that that was awesome and it's great for the WNBA as a whole. And let's face it, as much as we critique the things that deserve critiquing, Caitlin Clark fans actually want the WNBA to succeed. They want it to turn around. They want them to all start acting professionally because Caitlin Clark is part of that league, folks. And as much as a lot of people say, oh, she needs to just go to Europe, Caitlin Clark's not going to do that. She wants the WNBA to succeed. She was brought up on the WNBA. She has a rose colored glasses view of the league. So she wants it to succeed. Okay. So she's not going to do that. But look, I could drag this out. I'm not going to do so. I thought this was a cool number, and it shows a little concern for me of what the WNBA is doing. Again, this shows a lack of professionalism. Why do we not have the ratings from a June 7th game? Why do we have the ratings from just the other day, Tuesday, but we don't have the ratings from Sunday on CBS with Chicago Sky and the Connecticut Sun? I promise you, everything else we have. I mean, this is Sunday, folks. This is Sunday. Now, it gives us mostly prime time, but look at all these ratings from Sunday. We can go down the whole list. These are all the major networks, and then we go to the cable highlights as well. But look, we've got all this stuff. If we have all this, you know that we have CBS and the Chicago Sky, Connecticut Sun game, Angel Reese, and Me Too. We have that stuff. Here's a question for you. Ask in the comments below. Do you think that Chicago Sky Connecticut Sun game, if we get it, does it do more or less than the Rick and Morty 380,000 on Adult Swim or Underdogs on Nat Geo at 330,000? Does it top Real Housewives of Atlanta on Bravo, 540,000 viewers? 90 Day Fiancé on TLC, 850,000 viewers. Does it top those numbers? And I will find it. If it ever comes out, I will find it and we will see. So pick one of those. Let me know in the comments below, higher, lower, which one of those does it actually outpace? But yeah, Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark setting another record for the season in terms of ratings. Obviously, she is ratings gold, she's the one, it's the Caitlin Clark effect, whatever it might be. And let's face it, okay, I hit pause. I got to run through this. I know I said I'm going to leave it there, but I was so curious. I had to run through this. So I want to rattle off this stuff for you. Indiana Fever games 2025, the confirmed games that we know about, right? We have May 17th, Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky, ABC, 2.7 million, peaked at 3.1 million. Most viewed WNBA regular season game in 25 years across ESPN networks. May 24th, Indiana Fever, New York Liberty. 2.2 million, peaked at 3.2 million. Second most watched WNBA game ever on CBS behind, guess what? Indiana Fever Chicago Sky on June 16th of last year, which did 2.25 million. And then June 3rd on Ion, Connecticut Sun, and this was without Caitlin Clark, and on Ion, still did 851,000 viewers, thanks to the Caitlin Clark fans that showed out for that game. Caitlin Clark not playing. Again, it outperformed other non-Fever games at Ion. The Chicago Sky and the New York Liberty did 606,000 viewers. June 7th, again, Indiana Fever Chicago Sky on CBS, 1.292 million, peaking at 2.16 million. Third most viewed game on CBS ever, up 75% versus the 2024 WNBA regular season average on CBS. Also, the game Caitlin Clark did not play, but the Caitlin Clark fans showed out to support the Indiana Fever. So for I think 4 games on ABC and CBS, just over 2.25 million viewers, including Ion. It drops to just shy of 2 million viewers. And of course, there are other games that I didn't include in here, but I wanted to go because remember I said about I think they all did like 2 million on the major platforms, Amazon Prime, we never get that. So serious numbers for Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. And I rattled off old dates of which have games that I told you we don't know yet, right? June 7th, Aces. Why don't we have that game this past Sunday? It's on CBS, Chicago Sky. Why don't we have that game? But anyway, there you go. Another rating success for the Indiana Fever. WNBA has got to put in a game plan. They got to start cleaning up so much about this league so it cannot be just about Caitlin Clark, or they will be in a lot of trouble. I've said it before, House of Cards, stilts on quick stand. Can't happen. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out this video. As always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, check out the Y'all Not Like Us t-shirts and hoodies, and I will talk to you later.